What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Speak from the Heart, a testimonial podcast series where athletes talk about how God has helped them through their athletic career. My name is Cole Reynolds, and this is episode 28. This episode is a little bit different than most episodes I've done, but I wanted to dedicate this episode to a very special person and honor that person, Preacher Tim Mills. So, this past year was my first season at the University of the Cumberlands, and Preacher Tim served as our team chaplain for our baseball team. He was an FCA ambassador. He pastored First Presbyterian Church in Harlan, Kentucky, and I saw the impact that he had on the people around him. From our coaches, my teammates, the community, the city, what it meant to know him and to be around him. He was just a light in the world, and I didn't know him that well, but I got the chance to speak to him one time, and this was at practice one day. He was sitting at the end of the dugout, and I remember shaking his hand at practice and introduced myself. I said, "Hey, sir, my name is Cole Reynolds. It's nice to meet you. I'm from Somerset, Kentucky." And he smiled and said, "You're not a Briar Jumper, are you?" And Briar Jumpers were our team mascot for my high school. And I said, "Yes, sir, I am." And he laughed a little bit and looked at me and said, I remember whooping up on the Briar Jumpers all the time," and just smiling and laughing at me. And that was a cool interaction to have with him because I just saw the smile. I saw the energy and what he meant, just being a servant of Jesus. What he meant to us, what he meant to our team. And that was the last interaction I had with him. We started practice, and that was it. So a couple months after that, I had launched the Speak from the Heart podcast. I posted an announcement explaining the vision I had behind the podcast. I just posted my testimony and I wanted athletes to share their testimonies, their struggles, and how God has helped them through their athletic career. And Preacher Tim had commented on the post. He said, "Love this idea and purpose. I'm in." And at the time, I was just getting started. I was interviewing old teammates and close friends of mine. And I saw his comment and thought, yeah, I'll get to him eventually. I'll do it eventually. And I hate the word eventually because we always say it. Eventually, I'll make the phone call. Eventually, I'll do this. Eventually, I'll get to do what I want to do. Eventually, I'll have the conversation. Then February 20th came, and that was a pretty bad day for us as a team in general. We had just lost a doubleheader to Indiana Tech, and after the games, it was nighttime, tired, not in a good mood. Our team was just kind of down in general. We had played very well the whole entire month. Up until this point, and after the games, we gathered in right field like we always did. But you could tell something was different. Like, we were upset that we lost, but it felt a lot worse. Just the energy, the vibe was different. And Coach Shelton just kind of paused a little bit and was going to address the team. We didn't talk about the games. Did not talk about the games. But he said something none of us were expecting. He said, "Preacher passed away this morning." And I remember standing there and just feeling very guilty. Not because I had done anything wrong, but because I realized how often we assume we'll have another opportunity and another chance. Like, we act like time is guaranteed. But sometimes it's not. And there is no another chance. And Preacher had told me that he was in. I had never made the call. And that moment became a reminder that none of us think we have as much time as we think that we do. And today marks 4 months since the day that we all learned of him passing. And I wanted to make this episode for him because he wanted to be a part of this, and I wanted to do the best that I could to honor him the best way that I knew how. And it's not because I knew him. It's not because I have the best stories to tell, but I saw the impact that he had on other people. I saw the impact he had on my teammates. I saw the tears that they cried. I saw teammates hugging each other. I mean, after the game, I remember walking to my truck and seeing guys still in the dugout, like probably 8 or 9 dudes just talking after the game. And we usually, pack up and head home, but they wanted to kind of debrief and just be with each other. And I should have stayed with them as well. And I saw the pain, and I wanted to shoulder that burden with them. And I knew that his story, that preacher's story, was worth telling because of the impact that he had on so many of my teammates and all the coaches and just all the people around us. And this episode is not going to be about me at all. It's about the people who knew him well, that loved him and cherished him and had experiences with him and had the most amazing stories and the amazing things to tell about him and the faith that he lived out. So 3 of my teammates, I wanted to do this for him, and I asked my teammates, I was like, guys, if you want to be a part of this episode, this is for you all. Just let me know. And 3 guys want to be a part of it. Wesley Cully, Clay Shelton, and John Bowie Rittenhouse. And so these guys are some of my best friends. Love these dudes so much, and they wanted to share what preacher meant to them. And they had relationships with him that I never had the chance to have. And this episode gives them the chance to tell those stories. So, hope you all enjoy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wesley, and I just wanted to share my personal interaction with Preacher Tim. Preacher Tim, one of the greatest guys I've ever met. When I first got to Cumberlands in Kentucky, I wasn't very strong in my faith. I didn't really know where I was going, what I was doing, and I didn't really have any guidance, I guess a mentor, some would say. And Preacher Tim, he stepped in without even me having to ask him. Like, he was just a true spiritual leader, and not just for me, but for many people on the team. He had some health complications, and he was always there on Monday mornings or Monday afternoons right before practice to talk to us. And just about every day he would say this poem, and the first time I ever heard this poem, I was shocked. It truly changed how I spoke, how I conducted myself. It made me really look in the mirror, and that's what it is. It's about looking in the mirror. It's called The Man in the Glass. And it goes like this. When you get what you want in your struggle for self and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For as in your father or mother or wife whose judgment upon you must pass, the fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. He's the fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear to the end. And you've passed your most difficult, dangerous test if the man in the glass is your friend. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of years and get pats on the back as you pass, but your final reward will be heartache and tears if you cheated the man in the glass. And that poem was truly inspirational to me, and I hope it can be truly inspirational to you, just like Preacher Tim was.
My name is Clay, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about Preacher and about the impact that he had on my life and the lives of countless teammates during his time with the University of the Cumberlands. What people appreciated so much about Preacher is that he genuinely cared about each and every player that was on this team, and it didn't matter what was going on. He was interested in that, and he wanted to know more about our personal lives and our spiritual lives outside of the baseball field. I think a lot of people on a college baseball team, it can be tough to open up, and Preacher made that super easy. He was authentic, and you could tell that he was a real human being that cared about each and every one of us. I think a lot of times people try to shut off parts of their lives when they talk to a preacher. But it didn't feel like you were talking to a stereotypical preacher when you were talking to Tim Mills. The guy was as genuine as they come, and he had a down-to-earthness about him that not a lot of people have. Tim would come every Monday in the falls, and he would do a little sermon before practice, and he approached that perfectly. There are so many people that have sat in a church pew and they have heard preachers preach their entire lives and they shut it out. Preacher realized that a college baseball team dynamic does not need that, and he approached it in a way that was highly effective. So many of my teammates spoke so highly of the impact that he had on their lives, and how that they had kind of been turned off to Christianity before listening to him. And I think that just shows his authenticity and how much he really cared for human beings. And he would always tell the story of the man in the glass. And I think it was a unique perspective that a lot of preachers did not give. And he told us that every single time that he met with us. And it showed that he walked the walk. He knew that off memory, and it was something that he lived by, and he was able to apply that to his daily life. And I'm so thankful that he decided to come to the University of the Cumberlands, because like I said, the impact he's had on my life is significant, and I know that he's led so many of my teammates to Christ, and strengthened their relationships with Jesus. And that just means the world to me, because he's just so outspoken and bold in his faith, and that's something that will stick with me forever. And I hope that other people will be able to see Jesus through me, through my actions and how I talk, like how I was able to see it through him. So he's meant the world to me, and I'll never forget Tim Mills and what he's done for me and the University of the Cumberlands baseball program.
What's up, guys? My name's JB. Just wanted to hop on here and talk a little bit about Preacher too. So Preacher was he had a big impact on my life. When I got to Cumberlands, he welcomed me in. He didn't act like a stranger. He welcomed me in with open arms, and was first time he met me was talking about our faith and talking about my faith. And I've always been a Christian, but so he definitely impacted some people a little bit more than me when it came to like bringing them to Christ. But he was just such a good guy, a good stand-up guy, cared about everyone. He wasn't in the best health shape, and he was still showing up every day, every Monday, to our practice to give a sermon and give us his knowledge and his life lessons. And I don't have too much to say about him besides that he was just the best man, and I would never forget him. He was always there for me. I was going through some stuff with my parents, and my mom was in a bad car accident, and he was there. He was there for me to be that shoulder to lean on, and just talk to me through it and make sure everything was good. And but that's about all I have to say. I just want everyone to know how great of a man he was, and that I love him, and a lot of people at Cumberlands love him, and the baseball team loves him. And he was just the best man and he was a man that I strive to be like one day. And that's about it. Just know, Preacher, I love you, and I miss you, and keep watching over us. Thanks.
If you knew Preacher, I'd encourage you to share your memories in the comments. Share a story, share something he taught you, share the impact that he had on your life. When someone spends their life serving Christ and serving other people, their story doesn't end when they're gone. It continues in the lives that they've changed. And Preacher, thank you so much for all that you did for us, for our community, for the people around us. And that this is what this podcast is all about. And Preacher saw the vision. Preacher shared the same values, and he pointed his life to Jesus Christ. And that's what this is all about. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.